Welcome back, everybody. Milkshake Factory coming to you once again from the Legion Alpha. This time, Halls of Valor on normal mode dungeon. I do have the video going faster because it is a longer video because I do want to show everything, but wanted to go ahead and have it at a faster pace for you so you wouldn't have to sit here through the entire thing. If you want to skip ahead to bosses and do all that, you can. Pretty much just trash packs, and trash packs. You'll get the gist of everything, even at this speed, of what's going on. Again, we're just clearing some trash here. A couple of packs before the first boss, nothing big. Went through it on a fire mage, clearly. Did do a combat log and everything else because I'm testing certain talents and doing all of that. I am not, by any means, the best fire mage player in the world, but hopefully you get some ideas of what's going on and everything like that. I do love a couple of things with the fire mage. One, I love the mastery spreading. As you can see, full artifact weapon, we are 810. Everything in here that drops is about 820. But I do love on your Phoenix Blast, whatever you want to call it, the Phoenix Flames from your weapon. When they change your Pyroblast, they change it into Phoenixes. I do love that they AoE. It's kind of nice to have 3 flying off in different directions on some of the trash packs and stuff like that. This build that I was trying right here is mostly just all the talents that increase your chance at Pyroblasts. So it's kind of more of a single target build, everything like that. First boss, nothing too dangerous here. Just spinning swords of death. Don't stand in them. Storm drakes flying across, dropping electrical fire. I don't know, what do you want to call them? Just lightning energy on the ground. Stay out of that. Otherwise, nothing too hard here. A very easy boss. Again, this is normal mode, and we are over geared for this thing by a long shot, so our damage taken is not really all that high. We do have a couple of deaths later on, but this is just to give you a preview idea of what's going on. You'll want to do dungeons a lot during Legion. The biggest reason being that they drop tons of artifact power for you, so the bosses will drop epic versions of the shard stones, whatever you want to call them, that you need for your artifact power, which obviously gives you more than the green ones or the blue ones that you might pick up while questing. So you definitely want to spend a lot of time in dungeons to farm for your artifact weapon. Obviously we don't need it because this is the new PvP realm that they put up, so that we are in full 810, what's going to be considered, I guess, PvP gear. I mean, there's no real PvP gear, but you'll get mostly mastery and versatility, or crit and versatility. Everything has versatility on it. I think I have almost 28% versatility in this gear right now, so it's not like the secondary stats that you may favor. You'll get one secondary stat that you favor, and then versatility as well as part of the allocation. So that's kind of the gear that we have on right now. The dungeon itself drops the 820, so I think I got one upgrade by the end of it. But really the trash isn't all that hard. Again, just stuff to stand out of. You get one little AoE burst thing right there that you just don't hit anybody else with, and even if you did not hurt all that much. Again, you look at our health totals and stuff like that, we're in the millions, so I mean, we are well equipped to handle just pulling everything and AoEing it down. It may not be the best choice the first day you go in there on live, but you know, we're slightly over geared, so that's what we did. We just went in, pulled everything, and killed it. There are bugs on the tables that you could sit there and distract some of the mobs if you wanted to be a little bit more sneaky and take your time through it versus just gathering them all and AoEing. But again, we were a bit over geared, so we just went straight through and killed them all. The one thing you'll want to ignore right now, this build bugged out Moonkin Affinity for Resto, in that Resto Druids, that is a Resto Druid, not a Boomkin Druid. Resto Druids have all their heals while in Moonkin form, and that's not something that'll make it to live. That's just a bug right now. Moonkin Affinity is just supposed to give them their damaging abilities, but if they want to heal, they have to go back to being a regular healer. However, it's bugged out currently, so our healer was just running around in his Moonkin form the entire time. It did help us on some later bosses because he just did some damage as well, and kept up with everybody. He did about 89, almost 90k DPS with his Moonkin affinity. So, you know, I'm not sure where they're going to stand on that, but I mean, we were doing about 100 to 100, and I think our top DPS was like 150k throughout on one of the bosses. So I'm not sure where healers are supposed to stand. I've seen like some of the raid testing with Disc Priest was insane, but there's also some bugs with like certain talents, like with Demon Hunter's Nemesis talent, increasing damage taken by 10%, but it was stacking in a way that it's not supposed to stack. So some of those numbers are going to be screwed up from that raid testing. But right now, I mean, if they keep them at 80, between 80 and 90k, you're pretty close to a full-on DPSer. So you're helping out. You're not DPSing for no reason. You are helping out quite a bit, which he was able to do instead of just standing there and healing, which is kind of fun. As you see, as always, you cast a meteor and your tank will move out of it. The life of a mage, or life with anybody who has to drop something on the ground, tank does not respect it and moves out of it, as always. So that's the second boss right there. You had the two little mini bosses that you killed during the trash. They empower the boss who's coming up right now, and that was it. You know, so nothing too hard on that one either. I didn't even look at the dungeon journal until afterwards, like you saw, and didn't know what the hell was going on, but easy enough for normal. I mean, heroic, I'm sure will have a lot more damage. You'll have to pay a bit more attention. And again, the fact that we're well beyond the gear level of normal mode, I'm sure, seeing as we're in full 810 blues and the dungeon only drops 820. I'm assuming, you know, first day you're coming in here, you're probably going to be in some green still. You're probably not going to be 110 to begin with and stuff like that. So, you know, whatever. It's all fun though. So we clear out some more trash packs next to these tables. Again, you could use the mugs, which can be used to distract some of them if you wanted to. That way you're not pulling as many, or maybe be able to sneak by a few, but why right now when you can just burn them all? You see the corpses burning? That is your artifact weapon for fire mages, if you don't know. You do set them on fire. I'll double check the combat log, but it just didn't feel like them being on fire caused any additional damage to living things around them, which it has got to change, obviously, because everybody else's artifact weapon is some sort of DPS component, right? So it would be really bad if fire mages didn't have that same component to them. But right now, it just didn't look like it was doing any damage to anything else that was near those burning corpses. So I'm sure that'll get fixed. If not, I'll make a note of it. But I got to check the combat log once again and see where that's at. This is the next boss. This little wolfy dude here. You actually fight him twice. He runs away, and you have to go chase him again and go fight him some more. That sort of thing. Nothing really all that dangerous. He just marks some players where he's going to jump to. The idea is to stay kind of spread out so that you don't clip each other as he's jumping, because it's like a 10-yard AoE or so. So, I mean, a little bit of a spread. he does the silence there, locks you out. No big deal there either. Which, like I said, we've got what, an elemental shaman. We had me. You had a fury warrior, a blood DK, and then of course our resto druid who was playing as Moonkin Affinity the whole time. These are the talents that I took: controlled burn, pyromaniac, unstable, and of course the meteor. So that's pretty much what I came in here with. It's kind of a mix of AoE and single target, with mainly being the single target that I was going for with the pyroblast, which was, you know, kind of the controlled burn, and the pyromaniac for pyroblast. That's kind of what I was looking at, and then I wanted to see the meteor damage, and then how much that would actually spread ignites and things like that. So as you can see, there's lots of numbers for fire, lots of stuff going on, and damage did come up a little bit here. You see a couple of people are dying on this trash and stuff as we're picking up all these wildlife out here and killing it. But I think it could have been handled. I think our healer was just starting to DPS more than he was healing, and maybe the tank just was not ready for the amount of damage he was about to take in this area compared to earlier in the instance. But these mobs a bit harder hitting than the previous sets of mobs. Nothing that can't be handled, though. I think people would have been paying more attention, would have been fine. So again, I double checked him to make sure he wasn't a boomkin just throwing out some heals with the rest of Affinity, because I wasn't sure exactly what he was doing at that point yet. I didn't ask him or anything, but he was resto. It was just the bug that Blizzard already knows about. They already changed it for later builds. It's just not on this build, that you can in fact stay in Moonkin Affinity and have all your heals right now on Alpha. So again, same boss as before. He just ran away earlier. You come chase him back down, find him, kill him, finish him off. His only real thing was the whole damaging you with the whole marking a target and then jumping to you guys. That was his biggest damage mechanic, but it wasn't even that bad. Didn't really hurt or anything. So we go to the next section of the Halls of Valor, back in where we were. There's the mug that we were talking about earlier, and doesn't work if the mob is already in combat, obviously, but that's what you could use if you wanted to try and skip some mobs or pull less mobs at a time, that sort of thing. Use the bug to your advantage if you wish. Otherwise, just pull it on AoE. Quite a bit of trash. Took us what, 30 minutes for this place. There's only a couple of bosses left here. So you come in here, you got Odin hanging out with some old kings. We're gonna fight them one by one, and then we'll get to the next boss, who will come out after you beat these guys. They don't really do anything all that dangerous, so they're just normal kind of mobs. I mean, let's face it, getting locked out is not really all that big of a deal. You could just not cast when he's doing it, but why? I do love how much fire is going on when you are, you know, setting things on fire as a fire mage now. Just is visually very pleasing. It's one of the better things about the spec now. It is very visual. Before you had a little bit of flame, you kind of tell something was on fire. Now just their whole body's on fire. It just looks awesome. Alright, fight the first two solo. Then the next two are like, well, we'll both come at you. So 2 on 5 this time instead of 5 on 1. Now, to be honest, I don't know why we marked the one. He didn't seem any more dangerous than the other one, but maybe it was just to have us focus on one guy instead of worrying too much about splitting our DPS. But you see the other one was dropping kind of at a good clip also. I mean, that's just, again, moves out of my meteor, bastard. That's just part of, you know, you being able to, your knight just going to both mobs and just nice cleave all day long. Your pyroblast being an AoE when it's the Phoenix makes me happy. So we have God King coming up and then Odin. Those are the last ones. The tank's going to grab that shield in order to use it for us during this fight. It just basically makes a bubble and everybody goes stands in the bubble. It's not anything all that exciting. Look at the abilities through the dungeon journal there if you want. See what's going on. There's the shield from the tank. Stand in there. And then the boss gets the shield. And then he drops it when he's done. Tank goes, picks it back up. Pretty simple back and forth. Doesn't have to be the tank, I don't believe, to pick it up, but it just makes more sense to have the tank do it. And just go into it and avoid all the AoE. Now, you find the same room because now you get to fight Odin himself. Now remember, he is a good guy. He is on your side. You just have to prove yourself to him. No big deal. He doesn't have anything that was too scary as far as abilities go. Just a giant AoE like that. You just get out of it. No big deal. He does have that where he has some sword spear tips coming up out of the ground. Step out of them. Breaks them. They do a little AoE. And then you get a mark over your head and you get to play Simon Says, I guess. So you get the little mark over your head. It tells you which rune on the ground there that you need to go towards. So match the marks up. If you step on it, you turn into that little Valkyrie angel little girl. And you just start going nuts, and your damage is about 50% faster, stronger, all that good stuff. So it's a DPS increase for you to help finish him off, because he does have a ton of health. But you do have to match it up, so like that one, the K to the K, you know, just match up the rune type to the one that you're given. If you make it over there, you get the buff. Everyone in the group should be able to get it. It increases healing as well, so healers don't ignore it. Everybody goes to it and makes the boss extremely fast because you have that buff, especially everybody in the raid. So again, you get the epic stones instead of just the green ones or the blue ones, so you'll want to come do dungeons a lot. I got my pant upgrade. You see my health, you see my mana and all that stuff in there. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed Halls of Valor. That's it.